I always said, if we ever did something together, oh yeah, it would be awesome.
It'd be out of control.
And John would be billing us out of jail.
Yeah.
Next thing I did was work the auto show circuit as a narrator. The girls that stand on the hamster wheel with the car. They're like, this is the Jeep Grand Cherokee. I did that.
My sister said he left his Richard Cunningham and he came back as John Lennon.
I offered the producers of PBR.
She had come from sit position, bit him in the balls, went back to sit position, and if I blinked and I hardly saw it, and looked at her, and she was just sitting there like
a ninja.
And I turned around and I said, "You just missed 10 grand." He goes, "Why?" And I said, "Because that was me being a dick."
8G hit, and it hit so freaking hard. I'm like, maybe I should have landed in the grass.
I can hear your laugh from here, not through the screen, but from.
And I left there feeling like a bag of dicks.
No, did she just say a bag of dicks?
Yes, she did.
Like, let's say I want to get one of those Speed Marine hats. Where do I go to get it?
Oh, dude. Plug it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're not supposed to stop. You're supposed to act like it's normal. We integrate.
No, I always forget that part.
When they started asking, who here can drive a 6-shift? This is 30 or 40 extras. None of them could. We had to test a couple of my mechanics as terrorists and put them in the cars to.
Tell the story again about the panties and the dog. And
I'll let you tell it.
If you're not hustling, you're sleeping.
How'd you pull that off, Chad?
Well,
you got some kind of magic wand or just a big wand?
Heyo. Man, we could talk for weeks about this stuff. This is literally the most professional podcast I've ever done.
Hey everybody, it's Lou Santiago, and I'm here to tell you tonight we have Rob McGaffin. Now, you may not know who Rob is, but I promise you, you have seen his work. And the man is a phenomenal photographer. And he shoots cars for everybody. He's even found cars just roaming around the neighborhood, and he takes pictures of them, and they all come out great. Plus, he's got a magazine, and we all know magazines are going out, but he's going to revive it because the content is that good. So we're going to go to a commercial. When we come back, we're going to bring out our guest host, Joe Zolper, and we're going to chat, and then we're going to bring out Rob. Hit it, Ken.
Ever wonder what happened to your favorite Hollywood stars? Some are screen legends.
That's a Cadillac.
Some made history.
What do you say? Is it the new Bluesmobile or what?
One thing's for sure, they all have more to tell. Road trip with me, Lou Santiago, as I hunt down these iconic cars.
The car's actually stolen. My kids said, "Dad, you're not going to believe what's over here."
And take you behind the scenes to get the story behind the story.
I'm going to have the car do the same thing. Oh, bang, wow.
From the designers who built them, the stars that drove them, and the lucky motherfuckers who stumbled across them. Where was his car when you found it? Pull in there. Dude, tell me you have your hands on it. You're not gonna believe some of this stuff.
Joe.
Hey, what's up, Lou?
What are you doing, man?
Well, I had nothing else better to do, so I thought I'd come and hang out with you.
And it's only because John's not here.
Why? I'm just happy to be here. I mean, don't get me wrong. I was out in the shop working, and I thought to myself, I'd rather be hanging out with Lou than building Hemi engines because, well, you're a lot cooler than that, buddy.
Because nobody wants to build a Hemi.
Yeah, come on.
Nobody wants to do that, Joe. I mean, come on. And it's probably an old Hemi, which nowadays is so antiquated.
Oh man, now you make me feel like a dinosaur. Yeah. Oh, what are you doing today? Oh, just knocking the dust off this 426 Hemi. Yeah.
I know, right? It's so disgusting. You're an old man.
I know. I mean, I got before I torque the heads, I got to drink my Metamucil, and and I got maybe do some exercises. I might throw out a hip. Now you made me just feel old. Dude, I'm only 45. Now you made me feel like I'm 85.
That's why I'm here, Joe. I'm here to make you feel good.
Well, gee, yeah, this did not go as planned right out of the gate.
See, and you thought it was going to be easy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's do this with Lou. Have a great time. Yeah. Now I'm here. I feel old. Why don't you just take out over the show and I'll just sit here and just not say anything until I'm told to. How's that?
You can talk all you want, especially when we bring Rob on. It'll be a blast.
Hey, yeah. Now Rob, I mean, his work is completely phenomenal, man. I know. Gorgeous. Yeah. And you know what? I can't wait to get him on here because I'm gonna kind of hit him with some questions. There's some questions that I have in this industry about, what to look for with a photographer and so on and so forth. And I'm really curious to see what he says.
Wait. Well, back up. You said, what do you mean? What to look for in a photographer? You're going to talk to the photographer. You don't need to look for anybody else.
Right.
Your issue is going to be scheduling them. That's going to be your issue.
Yeah, right. Yeah, from here on out, I never have to look for another photographer again, technically. But when these photographers come up to you and they want to shoot your stuff, man, sometimes you're like, boy, I don't know. Hey, buddy, you still got your lens cap on. You know what I mean? So I want to know what he thinks about, what makes, the guy that's willing to put forth the extra effort to make a good shoot versus one that don't. I want to know.
Yeah. I mean, Rob used to take pictures of food.
Yes, I know. And that is like an art. That's not as easy as everybody thinks.
It's an art.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Big time. Yeah.
And it's funny because I met Rob when I was doing muscle car. That's when I met Rob. I think it was like 18 years ago now. 15, 18 years. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how I met Rob. And then, he started, he was just getting into the magazine. He was just getting into the car part of it. And it's just taken off. I mean, like the dude, he's just got a good eye, man.
He's got a talent that is bar none. It's unbelievable. Yeah.
And just so you guys know that are out there watching, if you do Wheel Hub magazine, it's wheelhubmag.com or Chevy Hub Mag. We'll have Rob do it. There's a 20% discount code. It's scrolling across the bottom right now. There it is. Wheelhubmag.com, MustangHubMag.com, ChevyHubMag.com. If you go on there and the promo code is Lou, you get 20% off swag, subscriptions, all of that. So I'm telling you guys tonight, when you see these pictures, you need to go on there and get your promo code. It's Lou, all caps, and
that's right.
Get yourself some stuff because I'm telling you, the mag is nice. I need to subscribe, Joe. I haven't done it, but I've got to look at one of the mags. Dude, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, whatever you do, don't go on there and put Joe as a promo code. You'll probably pay an extra 20%. And I got to razz them. There's no Mopar Mag Hub magazine.
Well, you need to talk to Rob about that.
I mean, come on, man. We can start something right here tonight.
You know what you should do? You should beat him up a little bit and get him to do yours and Wally's and do a joint photo shoot with yours and Wally's. I bet you that's never been done before. Ooh.
No. There's never been two Pro Mod Daytonas nose to nose before. No.
Yes.
No.
See?
Yeah, that would be impressive. Yeah.
Even if it gets in one of the magazines as like an oops, you know what I mean?
Oh man! Well, you said I gotta give him a hard time.
There's a 20% upcharge.
We've been through this, Lou. We've already had this. I can't be giving people too much of a hard time. I get carried away, And so we want to be on his good side if we're gonna have him shoot my car.
Okay, well then let's do this. We're gonna bring in Rob, and then you can try to get on his good side. How about that? Okay. Ken, bring in Rob. Let's do this. What are you doing, Rob? Rob, do you hear me? Rob, you're in. We were just talking to Rob.
What's up, Rob?
He froze.
He froze. That's all right.
I don't know what happened. We were just talking to him backstage.
Look at you already pissed him off. Look at.
I know, right?
God. I'm into shooting cars and stuff that we have.
Rob, are you there?
Hold it. I'm here.
There he is.
There you go.
Hey, Rob.
Hey, Joe. How's it going?
Hey, Lou wanted me to tell you how handsome you look this evening. Is that what we're trying to do, Lou? You look great. I mean, I see you shaved. You look like you knocked 10 years off. I mean, yes. I mean,
well, I got
Joe, he heard us. He heard us when he was waiting to come on.
Yeah. Well, I got some bad news for you, Joe.
Damn, I tried. Lou, see, it doesn't work for me.
Well, I have some bad news for you, Joe.
What?
I just shot Wally's car.
Oh!
Why would you do that? What did I do to you? Why not me? Oh man! hey, Lou, he drives past me to go to Rad Rides by Troy. Keep that in mind. He drives right past.
You know what he did? You know what he did? He probably shot Wally's car tonight before he came on, so he could tell you that he shot Wally's car.
Yeah. See all that ass kissing I did about, how great you look this evening? Yeah, hell with that. That's over. We're not doing that. But you shot Wally's car. Wally's a good friend of mine. I love Wally.
Yeah,
he was at my
about a month ago.
Yeah, that car is gorgeous. It's beautiful. Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, my partner Rodney found it on Instagram and immediately fell in love with it. So
yeah,
met up with him about a month ago, and we shot it.
No kidding.
Yeah, it was quite interesting. We had trying to get a dude to burn out towards the end of the shoot, and we did a couple of them, and we were in a pretty unstable area, and he ended up locking up the wheels to get the car to stop, and ended up killing a tire in the front. So it took us like 3 hours to get it back in the trailer.
Yeah, I know. I heard all about it, and he sent me photos of the tire and everything. I was like, oh, it's terrible. Yeah, but Wally's a good guy. He's a great artist with this stuff. You know what I mean? But I'm really glad that you did shoot his car. His car is very deserving. I'm a little disappointed you drove. I mean, geez. I mean, I know my car is more race car and not on the street, but man.
There's not much street car in that car. So
nah, not really. His is way more street than mine though. That's for sure.
Yeah. That'll actually be out in the next issue.
Oh really?
Yeah.
When's the next issue drop?
A couple months, I think. I'm not I don't have the calendar in front of me, but yeah, it's usually about we just got 18, so 19 should be probably 3 months. So, because we're doing our books quarterly, so.
Okay, so Rob, we're gonna back up a little bit. How did you? I've always been curious. How did you ever get into taking pictures of food for menus? Because then you made the jump to cars, which is a really big jump when you think about it. Because you went from menus to cars. Most people wouldn't do something like that. So how did you get into doing menus? And then when did you decide, or why did you decide to get into doing cars?
You guys are frozen. I couldn't see you. Can you repeat that?
Oh, jeez. Okay, so how did you get into shooting food? Menu stuff.
Oh, I was a commercial photographer for about 15 years before I started doing this stuff. I mean, what you're showing right now is just like personal work. But out of college, I went to started shooting in Chicago, started assisting for different photographers, and we did everything from food to clothing to dinnerware to you name it, we did it. And I circled around in this Chicagoland for a few years assisting, and then started working for a couple of gift and collectible companies and shot stuff for them. And then while I was at my last full-time job, when Popular Hot Rodding started doing photo contests, and the second year they did it, I actually entered and won, and that's how I got my foot in the door. And started freelancing for them about a year after that, and I've been doing it ever since. So it's been about 15 years, I think.
Yeah, that's when I met you then. Yeah.
Yeah, I was about 2 years into it when you and I met, Lou.
Okay. Yeah, so you weren't that far. You weren't that deep into it yet. That's cool.
No, I was essentially only working for Popular Hot Rodding at that point. And then I started working with all the other books. There was like 9 or 10 books that I worked with under that umbrella.
Right.
And was shooting. I mean, I was constantly shooting on the road for them. Yeah, it was a great bunch of people. It's just sad to see what happened to it.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right. It is sad. So where's the bear at?
That was Alaska. That was Alaska last year in a Katmai Peninsula. When I knew I was going there, that was the one shot that I knew I wanted to get. So lucky I got it.
Yeah. And that's Alaska too, right?
That's Homer.
Dude, that's gorgeous.
Wow.
See, Joe, he's got an eye. That's the thing, you know?
He does.
He's got an eye. You can't, that's something you got it or you don't have it. Where's that at?
That's local to me. That's just not far from me. It's actually between me and the Ring Brothers, actually. It's a park nearby. That's when the Neowise comet was coming through, passing by a few years ago. So,
have you ever thought about doing like a coffee table book with all your stuff like this? You know, all your personal stuff?
Yeah, eventually. I may probably do something like that eventually. I just don't have enough material for that. I mean,
it's beautiful.
Work's keeping me busy now, so.
Yeah, I mean, the quality and the shot. I mean, everything I'm seeing, it's just unbelievable. You do have an eye. You do have a knack for this, beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Oh, thanks.
You might even make your car look good, Joe.
I know. Hey, he has an eye. It just went right past my garage. That's all. So at this point, can we just guilt trip him? I mean, I don't know, Lou. I don't know.
If you want your car shot, don't guilt trip him.
Should we give Joe the do's and don'ts on how not to get your car shot?
Yeah.
Give him do's and don'ts. Go ahead.
It's funny. I literally have right here do's and don'ts. I even put on here a question I have to ask you. Yeah, I'm already getting it answered on my own.
Okay, so all right, stop right there, Ken. Go back to the car. Okay. So give us the lowdown on that car there.
That's a Maybelline that Ken Diggett built several years ago. And so the first time I went out there was probably 3 years ago and shot that car, that Coronet that they built, and the SL at Mercedes, the Gullwing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the last night. That was actually the last night and one of the last shots I did that weekend. But yeah, they're great shop to work with. They'll do they go out of their way to help me get to the locations that we need and make the car look, get the car where we want it and get the best possible work we can. So
yeah.
So you've got this Rolodex of car builders that you shoot for. How did the magazine come about? Was it just because you got tired of the magazine? The magazines all went away and it was nowhere really to put the stuff. How did it come about?
No, we actually started this before all that happened.
Okay.
About almost 3 years before the 19 went away. I was actually in the process of looking for a different type of work altogether. I was getting pretty burnt out, and I mean, there was a few times, summer of 16 15, I think I was home 1 month, like 5 days. And
wow.
It was getting pretty hairy for a while. And it was just a lot more work and a lot less time to do it in. And
right.
I was just wanting to do something different because I felt like I was getting diluted a little bit because of the amount of work I was doing. I wanted to kind of take a step back and kind of do the work that I wanted to do, which was pretty tricky in the beginning because I still needed my job, my freelance work that I was getting before, plus I was trying to build content up for what I needed for the first issue, and it was a little hairy there for a while.
Right.
But it all worked out in the end. So
yeah. So who built that bitchin' Camaro?
That's a Roadster Shop car. Do you remember car named Rampage? The
Yeah.
Rampage Camaro?
Yeah.
That's the street version of that car, basically.
Okay.
So it's called Road Rage. So we had this idea of doing a like Car and Driver and Road Track. They do those, new car reviews, or they'll do head-to-heads and stuff like that. Kind of wanted to do something like that, but kind of in the hot rod world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The GT is actually owned by George Poteet. So, and that lived at Troy's shop for quite a while. And this is an Autobahn, actually. That's out near Joe's sense part of the hood, I think.
There. Yep.
Yeah, we had an epic rainstorm that day.
Dude, that's a nice 55.
That is, that car is beautiful.
That's owned by this couple named Don and Kathy Hoover. I actually met them. I saw her car at Detroit. She had a 69 Camaro. It was kind of a per street car, and that was the car they got. I think they met or got married in that car or something like that. I can't remember the exact story, but he built that as a drag week car, basically.
That's a drag week car?
Yeah, LS twin turbo.
That is
That's
awesome.
a hell of a nice drag week car.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah,
I love the lighting on it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I think it's US 30. Hot Rod Shop. They built it. I forgot whose Javelin is on. Who has that black Javelin on Drag Week?
Yeah.
Yeah. They work on that car.
Okay.
So they built this car.
Okay. That's a gorgeous car.
Yeah.
That's Scott Sullivan's.
Yes, it is.
Old Scott, man. He was on the show.
Yeah, Scott's a good dude.
Yeah, he is.
That thing is just unbelievable.
It's amazing the detail that he puts out on a car. You know what I mean? It's just crazy.
Yeah, have you seen the inside of that thing? I mean,
I haven't.
Yeah, it's pretty epic. I mean, it's the wood grain on the dash is all hand painted by him. It's got kind of a vintage luxury kind of a feel to it.
Yeah.
There's Cheese Whiz.
Yeah. Did you ever shoot Cheese Whiz?
No, not yet.
Really?
I'm working on something.
Oh, that's gorgeous. That's an Oldsmobile.
Yeah, Scott Layton built that car. Sick chops.
That is
nice.
Beautiful. The background and how that goes with the paint and everything. God, you got a hell of an eye.
Yeah, Mother Nature.
Speaking of color coordination. That's nice, Rob. Damn.
Wow.
Bitchin' Camaro. Where's that one shot at?
That's Steve Cook's Camaro he built for that was a Riddler contender a few years ago.
Okay.
And that's actually Oklahoma City background.
Oh, okay.
That's on an overpass that's shut down.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I didn't recognize any of that skyline. That's why I asked.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Steve's
Oklahoma City.
He does some pretty incredible stuff too. So.
That's nice. Charger.
Mike Rudder's Rods.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard of him.
He's in Bristol.
But I've heard of him.
Yeah, he's in Bristol. That thing is, I mean, it's just neat to see this style of car. I mean, Roadster Shop's done a couple. They did that Catalina a couple years ago. This car has got a Hellcat in it, but it's all like the 66 Charger. It looks just like any 66 Charger, like a restored car, but it's completely modernized. Rad Rides did a really really badass 59 Cadillac, same kind of thing. It's just kind of neat to see this kind of cruiser style cars with modern performance.
Yeah.
Very nice. That right
That's
there
nice.
is one of my favorites. It's just so crisp and clean. I love that shot.
Yeah, Ron Jones does a nice. That's out they're in Windsor, Colorado area.
That's nice. Yep. I love the stance on that thing. That's a Ring Brothers, ain't it?
Yeah, that was Valkyrie, I think it's called. It was right after SEMA and the cars in Belgium now, I think.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I literally had a week to shoot it before it left.
That's cool. Ooh,
that is sexy right there. Everything about it.
Yeah, that's Roger Lee from Ironworks build.
Yeah. I've heard
that's in Bakersfield. Yeah.
Yep. Ironworks. Yeah.
To me, that's what when I think of when you think of a lead sled like that, that's kind of what I have in my head.
Yeah.
That kind of a look.
Yep.
Yeah, it's definitely meeting it's checking all the boxes, I should say, for a lead sled.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's checking all of them, which is cool. And it's black, so that thing is straight too.
Actually, no, it's not. It's actually like a dark burgundy.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. It's really dark though.
Man, that's crazy.
It's beautiful.
That's the Ring Brothers Camaro again.
Yeah.
So so when you're getting ready, like say you're going to shoot the Camaro, right? What do you scout out areas before you shoot it, or do you you've got something in mind and you just need to get a background that would work for you? I mean, what's the process there?
Usually I go early to a location, like we're a car builder. If I'm not familiar with their location, then we'll drive around and we'll look around. They'll have some ideas sometimes of places that might work, and we'll just kind of drive around and look. And sometimes I'll spend a half a day doing that before we shoot. Some places I already know where to go.
Right.
Like this one in particular, that was a very last minute. That was at Brizzo's, up near Brizzo's shop. And we just happened to come across this parking lot right on the bay, and just worked out great. But yeah, usually sometimes, like a lot of places I've been where I've been before, there's a handful of places around Mantino that I know of that I can shoot at. The last shot of Valkyrie was actually on one of the side streets to Ring Brothers shop that we've used 100 times.
Got you.
But like that car in particular, I wanted to shoot mostly in the shop, mainly because it was like 10 degrees out and snowing. But
yeah, well, I really, that.
Yeah, and I kind of wanted a controlled environment too. And I mean, it's kind of nice to break it up between location and just, in a building or in a studio.
Yeah, I got you.
What do you look for the most in a location, that where you're going, this is definitely a great place to shoot? Or are you just kind of that talent comes in and you just make work with what you can?
It's a little both. Sometimes it's, what fits the car, what, if it's a real rundown building, where sometimes it's color, sometimes it's graphics, sometimes it just depends. And it depends on building position. If you use a building, you got to have the, the light in the right place. So it's got to be on the right side of the building. You're going to utilize a light, and sometimes usually complement the vehicle. So you don't want it, a lot of people don't understand why we shoot in these decrepit, old industrial places, but it's the juxtapositions of, this, completely perfect vehicle against this, rotting building,
Yeah, it makes sense.
But at the same time, if you have something more of a high-end modern car, like a modern location, like the Ron Jones, it's like a good example. That was a brand new warehouse that was being built, and it just kind of fit the color of the building, the gray against the black or against the red, and so yeah.
Well, yeah, everybody needs to listen to this. I mean, there's people need to understand there's way more to this than just pointing a camera in order to get that good shot. And definitely you can see, you take the time to check all the boxes before, you're pushing that button and saying, all right, we're done. I mean, and that's what it takes. I mean, because I got to be honest with you, I've been down this road. I've dealt with this stuff. I'm not a photographer, but I've had some photographers that they think they know, they don't know. It's cost me covers of magazines before. It's cost me a lot of problems. And just one of the things I want to talk to you about, is explain to people that, what are you looking for when it comes time to shoot someone's car, in order to give them what they're looking for and to make it magazine quality and front cover quality, because I personally have been burned and lost out on 2 covers of magazines because of bad photography. So, and obviously you are just an absolute professional.
The bug. The bug.
Yeah, it's more or less, it's what I think it's going to like make the car stand off. What's the best environment for the vehicle? There really isn't a formula. Some things just work. Some things, sometimes I don't really have a really good spot. Like, good example is the cafe bike that Greening built that we showed a minute ago. I mean, that's at Columbus underneath that elevated railroad track. I mean, I've used that a gazillion times over the last 15 years, but somehow that one worked well in there because it's such a small vehicle, and then it's also, I'm utilizing a different portion of that overpass. So it's really difficult to really put down exactly what it is. Sometimes it just speaks to you, and like this shot in particular, that's an old parking lot downtown Des Moines, and I was struggling to find anything, but it worked. So
it
worked very well.
Yeah, it's not like it's a parking lot and there's buildings all around it, but it still doesn't look busy. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
because that's how I see it. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's the thing. It's just,
you try not to.
I guess it's all how you look at it.
Yeah, I mean, that parking lot they weren't using them anymore, and they were just completely empty. So it just was nice to have the skyline right behind it.
Yeah, that's so cool, dude. That's so cool.
It is
amazing. And I mean, and it's all you do all word of mouth basically, right?
No, a lot of times, like to scout cars, you mean? Yeah, I mean, the shows I attend, I look on social media, stuff will just come about. A lot of times I'll be in contact with a lot of the builders, and they'll keep in touch on what they've got going on, and there'll be stuff that we want to shoot, and there's a good example right there.
My favorite.
With DVT. Yeah, I was watching that car go together.
Yeah, that's a nice car too. Damn.
Yeah, we love that car. That car is that car is beautiful, and I love how when you did the shoot in the shop and how you just brought out that white and the body lines and the shadows. I mean, look at that. I mean, these are things that I look at when I look at a photo, and because I couldn't tell you how many photos, I'm not going to lie, I see all the time on social media, people bragging about their photography work, and I'm just literally face palming, but I mean, it's true. I mean, it's true, because the biggest thing I've learned is constructive criticism works wonders in all form of being an artist, whether if you're building cars, taking, photography, or whether if you're, pinstripe or whatever it is. But you look at this here and you can see how crisp and clean everything is. And that's the kind of things that I'm looking for in a photo shoot, when I'm looking at this stuff.
And what people don't understand about that particular shot, that's not just one shot. That's like 20. So
yeah.
I mean, you have a studio lighting feel, but I don't have a 40 by 60 foot box that I carry around with me. Right. So you have to improvise and use what you have. And there's a couple little methods that we use and utilize Photoshop and blend everything together and be able to get the lighting that I envisioned in my head.
Yeah. Great job.
Okay, so we're gonna go back again So you did Wheel Hub magazine before the magazines went away.
Yeah,
the
we
whole
launched
thing about Wheel Hub. I mean, the one issue that I saw, it was just it was pictures. I mean, it's just gorgeous stuff. What was the whole premise for that? Because I know magazines used to run with a lot of advertising, more advertising than cars. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So how are you balancing that, and how do you figure out what's going to go in the magazine?
So the magazine is my partners and I is Stephen Kim and Rodney Hutcherson. Stephen, you might recognize his name, Lou, from Popular Hot Rodding days. That's how he and I met.
Yeah.
He actually wrote he designed the engine for my car, my Oldsmobile. He wrote all the tech stories for that, and that's how we became friends. And this was actually his brainchild. This whole thing.
Okay.
And then Rodney does all the layout and artwork and logos, and so he's responsible for putting everything together and putting it in book form, basically. The idea of the magazine was to have the best way to describe it. Rodney describes it best. There's no guardrails, so anything goes. We've had motorcycles, we've had muscle cars, hot rods, because that's what we know.
Right.
We've had trucks in there. We've had a ship in there. So we've had a yacht in there. We actually, one of Jesse Greening's customers builds custom yachts out of Istanbul, Turkey.
Really?
And he was one of our first subscribers too when we started launching the magazine. So Rodney looked him up and like, holy shit, did you see this stuff? And yeah, so we ended up running one of his boats, and I forgot what issue it was, maybe 3 or 4, something like that. So it really doesn't matter. We've been trying to do a lot more industry profile stuff. Popular Hot Rodding used to do that a lot too. They'd interview and talk to different.
Yeah.
We've been trying to like focus on different photographers and different artists. Actually, the one that's coming out next is, you follow Anthony Ryan Schmidt at all on Instagram?
No, I don't.
He's a 14-year-old kid out of Washington that he shoots model cars, like the 24 scale metal cars.
Yeah.
And in perspective, in live locations, and they look real.
Yes.
And so
I do follow him. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
it's amazing what that kid does. It's really cool what he does. Yeah.
What's his name? Anthony Ryan what?
Anthony Ryan Schmidt.
Okay.
And I had it was personal for me because I have 2 kids with autism. So to see this kid excel and do this stuff, it was just really cool. It was very, very humbling to see that firsthand. I get to spend an afternoon with him and his mom recently. So that'll be out. That's actually gonna be out in the next issue. Actually, the issue is shipping right now, 18.
I'm glad, because that kid deserves it. I mean, it's pretty neat what he does.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible watching the process for sure.
Yeah,
that's cool. You know, the crazy thing is you could probably have him do a real car in probably a year or two, and because he's getting so much practice now.
And he's got a lot of cars. I mean,
he's got a lot of cars. Yeah.
Well, he's got like 3,000 model cars, but he actually has been gifted. He's got he bought a Studebaker Silverhawk. I forget what year it was, black one, and he was gifted a '57 Ford, I think it was, from a local gentleman. He was actually just in Champaign, Illinois. There's a photographer down there. Do you remember those RVs that GMC used to build? Like it was on stripes.
Yep.
There's a gentleman, a retired photographer out of Champaign, Illinois, had one of those and gifted him that. So they were.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is so cool, man.
Yeah.
That's cool. Those were front wheel drive.
Yeah.
Those RVs. Yeah. Useless information trapped in my head. That's cool though, man.
Is that all that's trapped in that head?
Yeah. That's it. Useless information, man. It's all that's there.
Yeah.
That's cool though, because I mean he's doing something that he loves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what makes it really cool.
Circling back to your question about what we choose, I mean, it's got to be, it's something that's really got to capture our attention, because I mean, there is so much out there, and it doesn't matter if it's, I mean, yeah, we focus on a lot of the professional builds, but I mean, we've had a fair amount of home built cars and motorcycles actually.
Right.
But it's got to be something that's got to have either a really good story, or it's got to be really special, or it's just got to be just off the freaking charts.
Yeah. So say a guy wants to try to get in a magazine. What does he have to do?
Usually the best way is just they can email the info. We have an info page, info at Wheelhub Mag or all the other books, and they can send in like an engine, an interior, a front 3/4, rear 3/4. So taking good notes, and just a little bit of information about.
He doesn't know how to write.
Yeah. But if they write a little information about the vehicle and stuff like that, then we'll just, the three of us will always decide on the magazine what's going to get. I mean, I've pitched stuff to my partners that they didn't like, and vice versa. So it just kind of happens. Whatever really catches our eye.
So Lou, if I bomb it here, there's still 2 other people I got hope with. Okay, to get the magazine. Right. And I've been doing talk to text on this thing, and nothing.
It's not working.
It's not working. Well, what is like one of the things I always wondered, because when you're shooting, some of these cars out there, what is like some of your pet peeves that just drive you nuts when you're trying to get that good shot and things are not going right? What is it that, you're just, what makes you frustrated as a photographer to try to get these shots?
Last week it was a equipment failure. I've had, I use lights and stuff, and sometimes they'll just fail, and shit happens,
Yeah.
There's been times where I've actually, Weather's a big one. Yeah, especially if you get wind or rain, or I've had sudden rainstorms pop up out of nowhere. Wind is horrible because nothing sits still.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, I was having a really bad run of luck a couple of years ago. Like every time I went to shoot, it was windy. like 10, 20 mile an hour winds.
Damn.
And that just gets old after a while.
Yeah.
But there's always going to be something. Usually I can't remember the last time a shoot went off without a complete hitch, but something's bound to go wrong, and you just got to work around it.
Well, I got to tell you, me personally, and I'm sure Lou too. Lou's built a lot of cars. I've built a lot of cars and whatnot. And it's guys like you that, with your artistic ability, capture the work of the art that we do. Because, most builders, we're in a hurry. We want to build it. We want to get it done. We want to drive it. Hey, check this out. But it's you guys that come in and, like what you did with some of these photos that last a lifetime. And we appreciate what you do, because without you guys, I wouldn't have half the memories I got, because, I have no photos of anything other than on my phone, So I depend on guys like you to save that, freeze that in time. And I got to tell you, man, what you do, man, is beautiful.
You mean to tell me your Polaroid camera doesn't do a good enough job?
No, man, I shake it, and it's always blurry, I just say.
So Rob, one of the guys wanted to know. Yeah. One of the guys wanted to know the kid's Instagram link. Do you know it?
It's Anthony Ryan Schmidt.
Anthony Ryan Schmidt. There you go. Yeah. Everyone's gonna go run and look at it now.
Oh yeah, they need to.
That's why they're asking, man. I promise you, everyone's going.
Yeah. I guarantee you that if they're looking it up, they're gonna be impressed. Yeah.
Yeah. Buy his calendar.
Yeah.
But he's got a calendar too.
Yeah, really? They're doing another calendar. He's doing another book. So yeah. Go out and support this kid.
Yeah. That's
gotta support. You got to support all these kids coming into this industry on all levels. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. We'll have to track him down and get him on the show. Tell him that you told us to do it. Tell him that you told us to do it. That's what I'll tell him. I'll track him down. I'll just tell him, Rob told me if I don't get you on here, I'm going to be in big trouble.
Right.
He told me he's going to ruin Joe's car. He's never going to take a picture of it.
Oh my God!
There you
Yes, throw me under the bus. Yeah. I'm gonna beg him, please. You got to do this show. I want to.
There you go. We'll get him on. We'll get him on.
I mean, you do realize that I'm never gonna be able to look Wally square in the eye ever again. I mean, I'm just gonna walk past him like this, you know. I mean, he's gonna be at my race, I'm sure, and I'm just gonna be like, don't even talk to me, Wally, because he's just gonna.
You know what you should do, Rob? Just to help Joe out. You need to send him like a huge picture that could cover like a garage door of Wally's car. Joe's garage. This is what you're supposed to do. This is how you get in the magazine.
I think I sent Wally a teaser, so all he has to do is text Joe.
Yeah. I guarantee he'll text me when he finds out about this. You know what you need to do? I think it'd be cool is just Photoshop a picture of my head inside his car and send it to him and say, hey, we're doing a new highlight on Joe Zolper's Daytona. Oh, he'd explode. He won't handle that.
God.
Oh, it's terrible. But, this is what we do, right? This is where all the fun comes in,
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's amazing we're sitting here talking and then the connections that we all have in this community and how much we all know one another and everything. And that's what makes this community awesome,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Rob,
yeah.
Go ahead. Finish.
No, I was going to say, like, the car community is like one of the best circle of people I've ever had the pleasure of being acquainted with, because they'll go out of your way to help you,
Yeah. So what's the one thing that you just want to take a picture that you're just dying? It's got to be like one thing, you know what I mean, that you just want to take a shot of.
There's one car or just something.
Whatever. It could be anything.
Well, I will say the one vehicle that I want to shoot in the worst possible way is Chicane.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep. That's my favorite car that Troy's ever built.
Yeah.
And I was actually working for a friend of mine at the time. We used to do all the built specialties photography. And my friend, who was the studio owner at the time, came back from a meeting with Glenn Grosage, and he had just bought the original car. And it took me 4 years to see that car in person after it was done. And it's, to this day, it's still my favorite car. I think, period. And that's the one car I've always wanted to shoot. So.
Really? I thought you had shot that.
No.
No?
No, it was before I got into all this. So, but I wanted to shoot it back then. I didn't really care. But knowing what I know now, I'd get my hands on it. But
yeah,
we'll get it there. I'll get it one of
these
days.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure Troy could make that happen.
Yeah, I can get Glenn too. I can talk to Glenn about it.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. That'd be cool, man.
Yeah.
Because that car was built, I think, in 94? Something like that?
It was later than that. I think it was done in 2001, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Early 2000.
Yeah. I just remember seeing it. It was an awesome car, but I never knew how I don't know how old it is.
Yeah, it's 17 or 18 years old now, I think.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like, that car and G-Force Cuda are probably the two most iconic street machines ever built, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And those two were so far ahead of their time.
Oh, God, yes.
Oh, for sure. Well, other than the car that you haven't shot, what has been your favorite shoot to date? Like what is it where you say, man, everything just went so good, and I love this car,
That's really hard because I've been around so many of them. And I've had such a blessed existence in this that I can't even hardly believe that I'm doing what I'm doing, I've always had a love of cars and always had a love of photography, and to combine those two things into a career is just, that just doesn't happen. But I mean, there's been a lot of epic shoots. I'm probably the one that really stands out to me the most. I shot with Henry Richards a couple years ago. He built the Hot Rod of the Year. I think it was in 20. I think it was. I can't remember. Well, he's in Mansfield, Ohio, and he got us to get inside the cell block where they shot Shawshank Redemption, which happens to be one of my favorite movies of all time.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was pretty epic.
That is cool. Yeah.
Wild.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
Talk about a backdrop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
It was one of the most standout ones. That's for me. That was just being that building. So
I tell you what, I have some connections. If you want to shoot like inside the Joliet prison, you let me know. And I know just a car that goes really good with that. What are you laughing at?
Weird.
Why you got a poker brother? Come on.
Well, I mean, I didn't think you would push. I didn't think that you would push Wally's car that hard. I didn't think you would.
Red does go well with that limestone, I must tell you. Yeah.
Oh, did you hear that? Did you hear that, Rob? Red goes good with the limestone. Now he's a photographer. Photographer.
I don't know how to use this. Yeah, but now all of a sudden,
yeah.
But no, because I know you mentioned that, but I mean, I always felt the Joliet prison is, pretty cool for the right vehicle. And I know I built a couple motorcycles and I really wanted to shoot them down there, but that was back when it was open. And they wouldn't even give me the time of day to even be on the property. They didn't.
Well, you know that
F-100
that we talked about before the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I shot it outside that prison. Yeah.
Oh, you did? Yeah. That was outside. I'm talking inside. Okay, I'll get
we can
inside.
Will that car fit in there? Those cell blocks aren't that big. You think about it.
We'll put it in the yard. Don't worry, it'll be in the yard. We'll put it.
Joe's just a day late, $1 short, man.
I know.
Short. That's all there is to
I'm
it.
out. I'm done with the cell. I can't do it. I give up. Oh man. Oh, it's hilarious. Well, God. I mean, hey man, only thing I can say is everything that you're doing is just awesome. I mean, and good for you that you have such a wonderful career and such a great talent in the car industry. And because being a photographer in this industry, it's not easy. I mean, it takes a lot of time to get that notoriety, but I think you're there. That's for sure.
Yeah, that pool of having places to actually submit your work to is shrank significantly over the last few years. So it's much tougher now. I'm glad I did it when I did. But
well, what do you think about the paper magazine going away and everything digital? I'm going to be honest with you. Maybe I'm just a little nostalgic. I like the magazines. I do. And I'm going to tell you something, being on the cover for a builder, being on the cover of any magazine is it's a big deal to all of us. Okay. It doesn't matter if you're building bikes or model airplanes. It doesn't matter. It's a big deal to all of us. Being on the cover of what they call the digital, it's just not the same. I'm not going to lie.
No.
It's just not.
I've actually done a couple of shoots where they were, I've done a couple of shoots where they were just going to be digital. And when I was talking to the owner, when it's like asking me, when's this going to come out? And I said, well, it's probably going to show up tomorrow, whatever.
Oh, he locked up.
Yeah.
Shit. He locked up on us. Damn it.
Oh,
God. He locked up. Jeez. And see, I'm not a fan of the digital magazines. I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
I'm just not a fan. See if you can get them back, Ken. We got a couple minutes.
Yeah, we got a couple minutes.
I wanted to hear. I think we lost him. Damn it. Yeah, it looks like we lost him.
Oh,
hello.
There you are. There you are. So finish what you were saying about the digital magazine stuff.
So this car owner who I was shooting with couldn't get out of there fast enough, couldn't get to dinner fast enough, just didn't want anything to do with it. And so we were saying us a lot about that. Like one of the things that we decided to do, we only have a social media presence just to like promote the brand. We don't put this on digital at all. Our book is, unique in that way, not only the content, but it's also, large tabloid sizes, 9x12. It's almost like 96 pages right now. It's on a heavier paper. We go through great lengths to make sure the color and the quality of the print's really good. We have a great printer that we work with. And what's, we just been very fortunate. Our timing was really good because of, unforeseen circumstances with all the 19 books going away, that just left this big gaping hole. We took advantage of that too, and we started the truck book at that time in Truck Hub. And then shortly thereafter, we worked with a former editor from that group, Henry De Los Santos, and he does the Mustang Hub and the Chevy Hub. So we tried to cover as many bases as we could. Like, what's great about the Chevy book is like it's not just Chevy; it's anything GM. So it could be truck, it could be Pontiac, it could be Cadillac, whatever.
Yeah.
So kind of has the same premise, no guardrails.
We have anything in the future? We got anything in the future for a Mopar hub?
Who knows? You never know. It's like
I know the
it's
first one. The first.
I'm just saying, being that Mopar comes factory with rotten body damage, I don't think that Rob's gonna want to shoot all that rust.
We're gonna do it. The Rust Hub? Is that what we're gonna call it?
Yeah, they'll name it Rust Hub.
Don't
Rust Hub.
there you go. You can't poke us Mopar guys too hard because there's rust if you push too hard. It will poke right through.
Yeah, they're not X-rays.
Yeah. Oh man, I came on for some abuse tonight, boy. I gotta tell you.
So, Rob, before we go, Rob, tell everybody where they can find you at, all your Instagram stuff, because I know you got a lot here. We can keep going, but I want to make sure we get that out before we go. You know what I mean?
So the magazines are Wheel Hub Mag, Truck Hub Mag, Chevy Hub Mag, and Mustang Hub Mag are all on Instagram. They're all on Facebook as well. My personal work is McGaffin Photo on Instagram. We have links to all the magazines in the bios, and we run specials and stuff every once in a while. So go to the websites. They'll scroll down below, so you have the discount code as well.
Okay, cool. Because sometimes it's the last minute and we're trying to get that out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
We're 20 minutes over. It's like, say what you gotta say.
Hey, what about the museum deal?
What's that?
What about the museum deal?
Oh, so next year we're working with Speedway Motors Museum, the Museum of American Speed. Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
So we're working in conjunction with them on a Wheel Hub event. So we're going to be inviting any of the cars that have been featured in Wheel Hub or Truck Hub, and it's a free event. They're going to dedicate a good portion of they're building a new wing, so we're going to have the cars on display there, and it'll be free to the public. It's going to be in late May. We don't have the exact date yet, but we're still working on that. So we should have more information towards the end of the year. So it'll be in Lincoln, Nebraska.
I was going to say they're in Lincoln. Yeah, they're in Lincoln. Yeah. When you find out when the date is, let us know, and we'll throw it up on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Too. We'll let everybody know that way. That way we can make it. I'm gonna have to try and drive out to that. That'd be cool.
You got to see the museum if you haven't seen the museum. It's
I've never been
incredible.
to Speedway, man. I've never been there.
Me neither.
Yeah, it's amazing. We did a pretty good. All our features in our magazine are about 20 pages a piece. So we actually did a pretty big spread with them a few months ago, or about last year sometime. And there's just been a great partnership. I've actually been able to shoot in the museum I took Andy Leach had a car that he was wrapping up before it was going to paint. So we shot it in the museum too. So they've been really accommodating with us on that. But yeah, we're really excited about this event coming up. So
yeah, that's cool. Yeah. And Bruce's wife said the promo code's not working. Maybe they haven't got it up yet, right? I mean,
yeah, I'll check with those guys.
So if there's, do you guys have any back issues of the magazine?
Yeah, they're all on the website. So everything.
Okay. Because I'm sure someone's going to ask. That's one of those things that people are going to wonder.
Yeah, it might be
They
tough
get a
getting
new
the
one
first.
Yeah.
The first 4 issues, I think, are sold out now. So.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, there you have it, guys. All right, we're gonna go. We're gonna run away.
It was really great talk to you, buddy.
Rob,
thanks.
Good catching
Thanks
up
for
with
having
you,
me.
man, really
appreciate it. You too.
I haven't talked to Rob in a while, by the way. So I ain't talked to him in a couple of years, and I was like, "Damn, we need to get Rob on here because he does nice work."
He does. I mean, it is. I mean, in all honesty, I know we're joking around, but I'm not kissing his ass trying to get my car on me. But he truly does do great work.
He does.
Honestly, I mean, when you look at something like his work, and you're in just complete awe, at the lighting, the colors, the shades, the shadows. I mean, man, he's got it, man. He's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know,
you know what I like. You know what I like is there's no guardrails, so we need to get Rob to do the Cheech and Chong tribute car, the Love Machine. Can you imagine that? There it is.
There it is, right there. Yep, you should.
That's what we need to do.
Yeah, hey,
that's what we need to do.
Guardrails.
Yep.
Right.
That's what we need to do.
There you go.
There, when it's done. Yeah.
I love it.
That's what we need to do. That'd be cool.
I love it. Oh man, you definitely got to get him to do it. I mean, if there is no, there's no guardrails like he says, and with that, and then of course tonight of completely razzing him about shooting my car. I mean, he's definitely got to do something. All right, he's either got to take care of you or take care of me. One of us got to get shot somehow.
I ain't gonna have no cars in any magazines. I ain't worried about that. I ain't worried about that.
I think what he'll do is he'll probably contact me the next time he's on his way down this way, and he'll swing by just to be a smart ass with a Polaroid, walk in my shop. Here you go, Joey, and walk right out.
And then he'll put the picture of the Polaroid in the magazine in the middle of the page.
Yeah.
What not to do.
Yeah, right. Right next to like some advertisement for like rat poison or something.
Jeez.
Oh,
one of the guys asked about is the show a live stream? Every Wednesday night it's live, guys. If this is your first time tuning in, every Wednesday night it's live. That's you can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Spotify, Google Podcast, and Apple. You can find us there. So that's what we do. And Slingshot 302 wants to know what your car is, Joe.
69 Dodge Daytona Pro Mod.
There you go. Just go on, Joe. Joe, tell everyone where they can reach you at, by the way. Tell them again.
Anything Joe Zolper, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, you name it. Type in Joe Zolper and you'll be able to find me.
And you'll see the car.
And you'll be able to see the car and the photo buckets along with many other ones. And Lou, I got to tell you, it's always so much fun coming on here. It's always good hanging out with you. It's always a good laugh. I mean, that's for sure. Thank you.
It's a pretty loose operation. You know what I mean?
What's that?
It's a pretty loose operation when you think about it.
It is. And the lot of smiles, a lot of laughing was, it's always a good time though.
Well, all right, Joe, we're going to sign off. All right. So
see you, buddy.
I will see you later. Thanks for coming on, man. I really appreciate it. John just got back from Florida. He chimed in there somewhere. Joe. All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the show. Next week, I don't know who we got, but just be ready. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a blast. So enjoy the ride. Later.